Roblox tween service is actually pretty bad. So I'll give you a better alternative. In fact, you should stop using tween service. Instead, I'll be introducing something called springs. And why springs are good? Well, let's jump right in. This is an example of what a spring can do. So pay attention to the graph. It's like a sine wave, and there's no fixed duration. It just goes on and on and on. Moving on to damping. Damping is just friction. If you have zero damping, it means that the cube will never slow down. Next, if you have underdamping, which in this case, when the damping ratio is less than 1 but more than 0, the cube will overshoot the target and eventually slow down. Critical damping is when the damping ratio is exactly 1. This prevents the cube from oscillating. Finally, we have overdamping when you set the damping ratio too high, it just slows down the cube. And next is also speed. Speed is basically just speed, self-explanatory. Just look at the graph. And the best part of springs that tweens can't do is interruptions. So we have tweens and springs. So tweens are just fine, but when you look at springs, it's like so much better. So this is my code. It's a bit. I'm using TypeScript, but it's fine. You don't have to care about it for now. But just look here. So set spring 0.8. So I'm setting the size of the spring, and you click it to 0.8 with friction, impulse, and tension. So impulse is just like adding velocity. So when you hover, it increases size with 15 friction because I don't want it to be I want it to bounce a bit, and it has some tension and slight amount of velocity to make it pop. And when you idle, I'll just set it back to the same size of 1, friction 10, tension 250. And if you change the tension, let's say 10, look how so you can see it's incredibly slow. So it's really nice. So next, after you click, I add velocity. So you can see it burst out like that. And so what about tweens? For tweens, when you click down, I made a tween that sets the size to 0.8 like this. And when you hover over it, it increases in size. And when you idle, it just stays at 1. So tweens are, they don't really transition well unlike springs, because when you play tweens, they're 3 separate animation objects which don't have the same velocity. Meanwhile, when you use springs, they carry on, but tweens don't. So springs, you can it's actually just better in tweens because all the easing styles, right? You can easily recreate them with springs with these parameters. Alright, so we're gonna be using Ripple by Latency. So install it here. If you don't have this, just go to the releases, grab the rbxm, and slap it in. So read the docs for every single function here. It's really useful, and the docs don't have everything, so if you're missing stuff, you can read the code yourself. So anyways, this is the most basic part. So we have this button, the UI scale, and we have this script. So this script is when you mouse enter, motion spring. So motion is a spring, is a create motion I made. Also, don't mind, this is some weird type checking problem Roblox has with me. So motion spring 1.2, this will set the motion spring to 1.2. And these are some custom configs you can play around with. This is just, I already explained this, but except for impulse. Impulse is basically velocity. You're just adding velocity. So when you leave the mouse, the thing returns back to 1. So when you enter, it goes like this. But when you leave, it goes back to 1. Same thing when you click on it. When you click on it, it decreases in size. And after you clicked, I will turn it back into the mouse enter state, which is the hover state, and it will have some impulse. So the most important part you can't forget is on step. This function you pass will run every frame, which will provide you with value and DT. Value is like the value of motion that you're setting, is like this. So if you apply value to the UI scale, it will be updated every frame, so like this. So look at the button, it's working. So this is springs, it's really elegant. So I mean, this is just the most basic thing you can do. There's so much more you can do with springs, and yeah, happy coding and good luck.